Calvin. You may wonder from the title alone where this story begins. For now, let me introduce my neighbor. Let's call her Phoebe. The name is borrowed, but the details are true. The bright orange hair, the matching orange nails, and the lively mind that never stops turning over ideas. We often meet at the edge of our adjoining yards, tossing thoughts back and forth the way some people pass bread across a table. And this morning, before the sun had fully stretched itself awake, Phoebe stopped me with a spark in her eye. She had been thinking about Calvin, and, as it turns out, thinking about me too. Phoebe knows that I love Jesus and true history, and she is a frequent visitor on our YouTube page. She and her husband are my close friends. In short, it was she that inspired me to research the following. Today, let's talk about the beginning of what we know as religion. John Calvin, French Jean Calvin, born July 10th, 1509 in Noyon, Picardy, France, was a French theologian, pastor, and reformer, whose ideas became one of the major branches of the Protestant Reformation. Originally trained in law, Calvin was a humanist scholar before becoming involved in the Protestant Reformation. Influenced by Luther and other early reformers, he broke with the Catholic Church in the early 1530s and soon became one of the most influential Protestant thinkers in Europe. He authored Institutes of the Christian Religion, first published in 1536, revised repeatedly throughout his life. One of the most important theological works of the Reformation, because it systematically explained Protestant beliefs, including the sovereignty of God, justification by faith, predestination, and the nature of the Church. He reformed the city of Geneva. Calvin became a leading figure in Geneva, helping shape it into a model Protestant city. Instituted strict church discipline, education reforms, charitable institutions, and moral governance. Founded the Genevan Academy, 1559, precursor to the University of Geneva. Calvinism. While Calvin didn't invent the term, his theological ideas shaped what became known as Reformed theology, which emphasized God's absolute sovereignty, predestination, and election. The importance of Scripture in a disciplined, godly life. Calvin influenced Protestant movements across Europe. Calvin's ideas spread to France, Scotland, the Netherlands, England, parts of Germany, Hungary, and Switzerland. His writings and pastoral work produced commentaries on nearly every book of the Bible, wrote numerous sermons, letters, and treatises, helped organize refugee support networks across Europe. Calvinism remains one of the major Protestant traditions today, including Presbyterian churches, Reformed churches, and some Baptist and Congregationalist movements. Though not a Democrat in the modern sense, Calvin's ideas contributed indirectly to constitutionalism, the idea of balanced government, citizen participation, and the respect for individual conscience. These influences shaped political culture in places like Scotland, the Netherlands, England, and later the United States. This was brought to you by Phoebe.